And speaking of Central Time, that's where we have our man, Mike Seidel. He is live in Wichita, Kansas right now, and he joins us now live with a guest. And today, we know it is going to be one of those days that we really don't see a lot of throughout the year, and certainly good news for that, but it looks like a tornado threat is going to be great today.
Yeah, it's going to be busy out here with the National Weather Service here in Wichita, Kansas, with our warning coordination meteorologist here at this office. This is Chance Hayes, and we were here 4 years ago. Yes. And it was kind of a scary situation because we had that tornadic cell go right by us, and everything was transferred to Topeka, and we all huddled in the middle of the building.
Oh, we sure did. Let's hope that we don't have a similar scenario.
Let's hope so. Let's talk about the Storm Prediction Center. We just heard from them about the issuance of a tornado watch, not only for parts of Kansas, but for parts of Oklahoma.
Absolutely. It looks like the potential for a tornado watch may be coming out very soon. It's going to extend basically up the I-35 corridor across Kansas into parts of Nebraska, and we're looking for the potential for storms to develop very quickly.
And we talked earlier, the big threat you think here will be the hail and not the tornadoes.
That's the way that it's been looking lately, because we look at the winds further up into the atmosphere, and they're just not as conducive to the long-track tornadoes. Not to say it's not going to happen. If we get a deviant supercell, they can occur, but right now we're looking at large hail, basically larger than baseballs.
Well, we saw that in North Texas a week or so ago. What, $1 billion in damage. And one of these supercells heads up to the warm front, then you get added rotation.
Oh, absolutely, and that's one of the things we got to look for. It's called helicity, which is spin in the atmosphere, and if it anchors itself on that warm front, we could have some problems.
And it was 25 years ago today we had that horrible disaster with the Andover tornado, and you had big plans today to honor and to look back, but that's all been scrubbed because of this threat.
Absolutely. You know, it's one of those things, we got to practice what we preach. If we're asking folks to stay indoors and stay vigilant in watching the weather, we have to do the same thing.
And McConnell Air Force Base, we just found out, has evacuating some of their planes to North Dakota and also to the state of Washington to get them in safer areas. I think more so for the hail issue than the tornado threat.
Oh, absolutely. The planes are very sensitive to the hailstones, and also several schools have canceled their evening activities across the area. So people are doing the right thing. They're taking the steps to be safe.
And as we've been showing you on the video, you're ramped up inside, 7, 8, 9 employees. You're good to go. You've got 2 folks working social media.
Yes, we sure do. We've been preparing this for about 3 or 4 days. We've seen the potential, so we've adequately staffed here at Wichita, and we're ready to go.
That's what we want to hear. Chance Hayes, warning coordination meteorologist here, National Weather Service. And you can see, as he mentioned, to the south, how the skies are looking a little bit darker. So things are starting to pop, starting to fire up. It's very unstable. It's warm and sticky out here. 81. Dew point in the upper 60s. And so it's all systems go for severe weather this afternoon and tonight. Guys?
All right, thanks so much, Mike Seidel. They're in Wichita, Kansas, by the way. Wichita now under a tornado watch, just tornado watch.
All right, we do know that area includes multiple states, but right now we're going to go to our own Mike Seidel. He is live in Wichita, Kansas, and he joins us now with a guest. And we're going to be talking more about the threat for tornadoes throughout the day, right, Mike?
We are. In fact, a lot has changed since we talked to you 30 minutes ago. We're at the National Weather Service here in Wichita, Kansas. We've been here before, and we've got Chance here, our warning coordination meteorologist, Chance Hayes, and we've got 2 tornado watches, one for this area until 9 o'clock tonight, and then one south of here, which is a PDS watch.
Right. Yeah, it's a little bit stronger worded, meaning that there's probably more shear or spin in the atmosphere just south of us, so a high likelihood for tornadoes just to our south.
And that one goes till midnight central. That includes Dallas, Fort Worth, and Oklahoma City. And we're already seeing storms knocking on our door. We've got a warning downstream.
Yes.
No, upstream, actually.
Well, it'd be down to our southwest.
Yes.
It includes parts of Harper, Sumner, and Kingman County.
Back in here, the sky's getting a little bit darker. Concern here? Main concern here?
Main concern here is going to be half-dollar size hail and winds up to 60 miles an hour. The strongest storm right now is just crossing into the state of Kansas, just to the west of Caldwell or south of Bluff City.
And we expect the atmosphere to just continue to fire up these storms, everything coming in from the state of Oklahoma this afternoon and this evening. Again, our watch here goes until 9 central.
Right, absolutely. We still have a chance for tornadoes just because this is a severe thunderstorm warning for hail and wind. does not rule out tornadoes. The potential is definitely there. We're going to have to keep an eye on it as we go through the afternoon.
And so be wary of your warnings in the area, certainly.
Absolutely.
Stay with the Weather Channel, know a weather radio, and know where you can seek shelter. I read about one mobile home park just up I-35 where they've just put in some new shelters.
Well, I think that's a wonderful idea. Folks have to plan. That's the most important thing they can do. Know where to go when the conditions warrant that.
Now, the wind is from the southwest here. Typically, if you're going to have a higher tornado threat, you'd want a southeast wind.
Yes, that's absolutely right. You want the winds to go from the southeast to the south to the southwest as you go up higher in the atmosphere.
Yeah, what we call veering with height.
Yes, veering and turning.
But we saw here in the sounding, they're veering, then backing, then veering. So that's probably one of the reasons why the tornado threat not as high as we thought it might be yesterday and the day before.
Correct, and that's one of the things that we've been watching earlier today and even late last night. We knew that the turning of the winds or the veering of the winds with height wasn't quite there. Everything was more parallel to the front as opposed to perpendicular.
Okay, Chance Hayes here, our warning coordination meteorologist at the National Weather Service here in Wichita, Kansas. Everybody inside is very, very busy as the storms start to fire up. And guys, we'll keep you updated from here, keep you abreast of what's going on inside, because these are the guys actually issuing the warnings in this part of the state. How many counties do you cover?
26 counties in Kansas.
In 26 counties. There you go. Alex, Jen, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Mike. Yeah, those guys certainly do quite a bit, and we all appreciate everything they do.
The conditions right now in Missouri and Illinois, but we also are keeping an eye on Kansas right now, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely, indeed. And, of course, we've got our Mike Seidel, who is in Wichita right now. And, Mike, you're joining us now in the state, now underneath.
I'm on the...
Go ahead, Mike.
Yes, indeed. We're out here on the southwest side of town at the airport, just off the airport at the National Weather Service. And we're watching these storms have been warned for severe weather. They've already produced 1.25 inch, an inch and a quarter hail. That's half-hour size down to our south and west in Caldwell, near Caldwell. And Suzanne Fortan is the meteorologist in charge here at the Weather Service. We ran into each other during before blizzard in Kansas City.
Yes, a few years back.
Yeah, it's been we've been around a while, both of us.
Yeah, we've both been around a while. You can see it in our wrinkles.
We've seen a lot of weather. Let's talk about what's coming in right now. We've got the tornado watch here until 9 Central for a good deal of central Kansas, parts of southern and central Nebraska, and we also have severe thunderstorm warnings for these cells that we're seeing, and we heard our first thunder just a few minutes ago.
Yes, that's correct. Well, we've got a few storms just to the south, southwest of the Wichita area. Down the I-35 corridor right now is somewhere we'll have to watch right now, as Mike was saying. $half-dollar size hail being reported right now with that storm. We actually just had an upgrade to our radar, and so we can actually distinguish between hail sizes within the core of those storms. We're the first operational radar in the nation to get that classification.
We got to cut you off. We got to go back. We've got a tornado warning. Alex, Jen, back to you.
That's right, and we do know we have a tornado warning. All right, so we are following those storms just to the southwest of actually Wichita, where we have tornado warnings as well as severe thunderstorm warnings. Where our own Mike Seidel is live in Wichita, Kansas, and it looks like the weather is going to go downhill very quickly. Storms are just knocking on your door, the stronger ones, especially to the south, Mike.
They are, and we've taken some kind of shelter here to get out of the threat of lightning and also the rain. Chance Hayes is here, warning coordination meteorologist for the National Weather Service right here in Wichita, Kansas. And we've got the tornado warned storms northeast and particularly the one we're looking southwest of here, and pouring rain and lightning strikes.
Oh, absolutely. We actually have two storm systems moving towards us. The closest storm is producing nickel-sized hail about 10 miles southwest. And then further, about 40 miles southwest, we've got a wrapped-up storm. It has produced a rotating wall cloud and a funnel, but no tornado touchdown yet.
Yeah, we saw that on the Chaser video streams in the office. What's your main concern in the short term, the tornado threat now versus the hail?
Well, I mean,
it's both. Giant hail.
You know, to be quite honest with you, it's both. Because we have to worry about the tornado and the potential damage that it may cause. But also, if folks are out, we're getting into rush hour. They may be driving into these storms, and we do not want them to be driving into the heavy rains or the blinding rains. Could be hydroplaning, and also driving into the hailstones. They're going to bust their windshields, and that could cause a very dangerous situation for them.
And we have the tornado watch here in Wichita, a good deal of central Kansas, right into a small section of south central Nebraska, and that goes until 9 o'clock tonight. And so we've got a long way to go.
We've got quite a while to go. And as the models have been projecting throughout the day, two rounds of storms. The initial discrete storms that we're seeing right now, and then a secondary line of storms developing and racing to the east tonight.
Right, and that line later on has the propensity more for straight line wind damage, although the tornado threat is not zero at that point.
Absolutely.
It's these discrete cells right now we're following that are coming up from Oklahoma that are the main concern for rotation and spin.
Absolutely, and you, like you said, you still can get some, we call them quasi-linear tornadoes, still possible in the leading edge of that line, but we are mainly concerned with straight line winds, and we want folks to take notice of the severe thunderstorm warning because they can pack winds up to 100 miles an hour.
We've seen that out here in the plains, and unfortunately when you have those quasi-linear or those squally systems, the line coming through like late tonight, it's sometimes hard to see those tornadoes. They tend to spin up quickly, but they also tend to spin down quickly.
Absolutely. I mean, you really can't see it because it's at night. It's going to be hidden by all the precipitation, going to be hard to see. If you're lucky, you may see it by lightning, but we don't want folks to be out there looking for them. We want them to be in shelter.
Another flash of lightning, a lot of rainfall. You know, I failed to look at your rainfall situation here. I was so into the severe weather indices. How is the moisture here so far this year?
So far this year, we're a little bit above normal over the past 2 weeks. And what's interesting is that we've done some research and we found that when you have above normal precipitation 1 to 2 weeks before an event, it can turn into quite an event. And so we were a little bit concerned about that because we have been running about 400% of normal lately.
Okay, thanks for that.
You bet.
Chase, we got to go back to the Weather Channel. Another tornado warning. Kansas, Oklahoma, where is it, guys?
It's in Kansas, Mike. Yeah, we're continuing to see these storms blossom, no doubt about it. And, of course,